Who hasn't heard of Andrew Tate? If you haven't heard of Tate, you must be living under a rock somewhere. For quite some time, the man has been making headlines. His most recent hits have the internet ridiculing his already terrible demeanor, and Elon Musk has joined the dance. Elon Musk just revealed more about Tate than anyone else knew. Who exactly is Andrew Tate? What kind of corruption did Elon Musk uncover about him? Join me today in this video as we look at how Elon Musk recently exposed Andrew Tate's immorality. Call him a misogynist or the king of toxic masculinity. All of these titles seem to match this ex-kickboxer who has amassed more social media celebrity than former US President Donald Trump. But can we blame him for being famous? This, however, proved to be his undoing. Popularity has a tendency of exposing your shortcomings even when you aren't expecting it, which is exactly what happened to Andrew Tate. But who exactly is Andrew Tate? Fortunately, some of us don't know him, so we haven't been poisoned by his toxic tirades against women. Anyway, let's start with a proper introduction to Tate. Tate grew up in London, the son of a catering assistant and a chess master. He pursued a professional kickboxing career, which ended terribly, a tale that can only be described in full in the course of this video. Tate turned to social media after a bad break in kickboxing and quickly became well known. Of course, many people criticized him for his radical views on women and rape. Enough with the introduction. Now that you know a little bit about Tate, you won't be surprised to learn that his looming corruption was recently exposed. Tate was unexpectedly arrested, and for what? You might probably guess, for human trafficking and rape allegations. That shouldn't come as a surprise given Tate's track record of not keeping things tidy. On December 29th, 2022, the notorious online influencer was caught and held in Romania alongside his brother Tristan. The two brothers were escorted away from a beautiful villa by Romanian police, according to numerous social media stories. While this came as a surprise to the over 12.7 million Tate admirers who have praised him regardless of what the rest of the world thinks of him. Later that evening, the Directorate for Investigating Organized Crime and Terrorism in Romania reported that, while not naming the Tate brothers by name, he referred to them as two British individuals and made some unsettling allegations about them. The Tate brothers were apprehended alongside two Romanian nationals with whom they allegedly committed crimes. Police discovered alarming items in the Tate brothers' luxurious villa during the raid. They followed this up with a film showcasing knives, firearms, and money in the showcase room. Furthermore, they discovered 11 luxury cars on the premises that belonged to and were most likely driven by the suspects. During the arrest, Romanian police confiscated all of the cars. Aston Martin Vanquish S Ultimate and a Rolls-Royce Wraith from the Black Badge series were among the expensive vehicles on display. These vehicles are no laughing matter. A closer look of the prices will define the standard. First, an Aston Martin cost $250,000, whereas a Wraith costs $300,000, which is more than 5 times the price of a Tesla EV. How about adding up the prices of 11 high-end vehicles? We'll leave it up to you, but you're already familiar with the types of cars located on the Tate brothers' property. The vehicles were confiscated by Romanian police to cover the costs of the investigation into Tate, and they would later be used to compensate the alleged victims of the two brothers. The price of the cars raises questions about how they were acquired. Prosecutors are still looking into whether the seized vehicles were purchased with proceeds from human trafficking. The investigation also resulted in the seizure of 10 Tate brothers-owned properties in Ilfov, Bucharest, Valleja Brahove, and other nations. Tristan and Andrew Tate's lawyers disputed the seizure of their cars and residences, but there's already a lot to question about their business activities. However, this is not the first time the Tate brothers have had to deal with authorities for such a serious crime. Previously, in April, prosecutors said that the ex-kickboxer and his young brother, along with 2 other people, were sexually exploiting women for pornographic material that would lead to their fortune. During the course of the inquiry, authorities discovered 6 women who were allegedly sexually exploited by the defendants. The 4 suspects appeared to have formed an organized crime syndicate with the goal of recruiting, housing, and exploiting women by forcing them to make pornographic content for viewing on specialized websites for a commission. The prosecutors went on to say that they would have made a significant amount of money. Tate, as usual, got away with this corruption by claiming that no one was detained at his luxurious house and that everything else was a fabrication. He has a way of justifying himself, claiming that not a single woman has come forward to accuse him of raping or abusing her. However, the fruit always will fall near the tree. When he was ultimately arrested on the same charges, he had a new version to tell. On the night of his arrest, Tate's Twitter account responded to what had just happened. "The Matrix sent their agents," said the tweet. "The Matrix will only tell you what the Matrix needs you to believe," said another. The term Matrix is not unfamiliar in Tate's vocabulary. The social media influencer believes we live in a Matrix, a concept he received from a dystopian science fiction film starring Keanu Reeves. In the film, humans are directed by computers to work till they die. In a recent heated exchange, climate activist Greta Thunberg, the social media influencer, posted an odd video in which he accused Thunberg of being a Matrix slave. He claimed that she is unaware that she is being programmed, that she is a slave to the Matrix, and that she believes she is doing good. Tate went on to claim that because he called her out on it, the global Matrix had a bot farm retweet and comment in order to make it appear as if she was giving him a lesson. Tate, however, was the target of Elon Musk after his tweet. The Tesla CEO, you see, has a knack of slamming some sense of reality into those who live in a matrix. In response to Tate, he shared a visual meme that has long gained popularity on social media. "What if I told you the only way to escape the matrix is to unlearn everything that you have been taught and rebuild your entire belief system based on critical thought and analysis?" Elon Musk undoubtedly has a point. There, Tate has a lot to unlearn and to develop a more reasonable belief system based on goodness towards all mankind, and he definitely needs to get rid of the Matrix thing, or else he'll be in much more trouble than he had with only a box of pizza from his conversation with Mrs. Thunberg. The climate activist told Tate to get a life, to which Tate replied that he owned 33 high-emission vehicles. Tate then released a video of himself smoking a cigar in his bathrobe in front of a box of pizza. So how did that pizza have anything to do with Tate's arrest? The pizza turned out to be from a well-known restaurant, Jerry's Pizza, in Romania, which assisted the authorities in confirming his presence in the nation and so served a critical part in his arrest. Alternatively, we might say it this way. Andrew Tate was arrested after instigating a fight with a teenage girl while attempting to make a point with the Matrix. Greta Thunberg ridiculed Tate on Twitter after his arrest, writing, quote, "This is what happens when you don't recycle your pizza boxes." However, it was this that caused social media lines to be crossed. It was Elon Musk's usual sarcastic tweet targeted at Tate. He stated, "Sometimes it's just better to make pizza at home." Tate should have started doing that a long time ago. He would have saved many teenagers their sanity. However, evidence of his previous actions demonstrates how much harm this type of toxic masculinity has caused, particularly to teenagers. Andrew Tate rose to prominence in 2016 after appearing on Channel 5's Big Brother. He would, however, be the first to be kicked off the reality show after images surfaced of him striking a lady with a belt and asking another how many bruises she had. Later, the ex-kickboxer said the video was part of a BDSM performance. Nonetheless, he was already on the renowned list of the Big Brother channel in order to build an online presence. We could have believed Tate was telling the truth regarding the BDSM play at that point. However, seeing the same misogynistic undertones in his comments and subsequent actions further exposes Andrew Tate's dark and deceitful side. In one particularly outrageous social media outburst, the disgraced king of toxic masculinity argued that if women put themselves in a situation to be raped, they must share some responsibility. There were countless such statements that plainly demonstrated his views. He further said, quote, "My sister is the property of her husband." If you believed his prior remark was a slip of the tongue, the next statement will confirm that he meant what he said. Men accused of cheating on their women should, quote, "bang out the machete, boom her in the face, and grip her by the neck." Unfortunately, his ban from the reality show Big Brother and apparently immoral comments fueled his fame. The more provocative videos he uploaded, the more his social media fans distorted them, primarily teenage boys, grew his following immensely. He had more social media views and Google searches than Donald Trump and Kim Kardashian combined, making him the most popular man at the time. Even social media's efforts to limit Tate's influence on social media lines continued to fail. At least the top 4 social media platforms, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook, have banned Andrew Tate from their platforms. This, however, hardly made a dent in his social media influence. Andrew Tate has some diehard followers who have kept his popularity fire burning long after he was booted off Twitter. We now understand why he was banned from Twitter in the first place. Do you believe Elon Musk should have let him back on the platform? A search on TikTok a few days following his ban revealed at least 20 fan accounts with over 10,000 followers dedicated to distributing Tate's videos. And yet, Tate's notoriety doesn't appear to be contributing anything positive to the world. Many teachers in Australia are concerned about this toxic male influencer, who many believe is to blame for the surge in sexual assaults by boys against girls. Think again if you believe Australia is the only affected country. Teachers in the United Kingdom admitted that young males appear to be the most influenced, but teenage girls also had something to say to Andrew Tate. The majority of teenage girls' opinions on Tate can be summed up by one girl's words: "Andrew Tate made my boyfriend hate me." His Hustlers University is central to his toxic masculinity cult. He brags about his establishment, calling it a community where me and a dozen war room soldiers will educate you exactly how to make money. Hustler University has around 130,000 participants. The majority of them are British schoolboys who pay €39 per month to learn copywriting, e-commerce, and Bitcoin trading. The main question here is if Tate is merely creating an illusion about his fortune and the wealth he can show little boys to make, as well as the reality of the debts he has accrued, while keeping the scale of his wealth concealed. According to Romanian media, the Tate brothers are not self-made millionaires, but rather heirs to a fortune. Tristan and Andrew Tate appear to have inherited a hotel in Thailand from their father, which have netted them millions of euros. Nonetheless, his business operations are not as pleasant. He brags about owning a webcam studio for nearly a decade with 75 females who entice men with phony sob stories. Many men end up giving up their fortune, and Tate is unfairly enriched as a result. How bad may Tate's corruption get? Please share your thoughts in the comments box below. Anyway, guys, make sure to subscribe if you want to see more fascinating videos.